Welcome back to The Hill here on NewsNation. Some Republicans running for president, as well as members of Congress, are embracing a proposal to fight drug cartels and help secure the border. That proposal? Use the U.S. military, with some even calling for American forces to be sent into Mexico.
I would empower the President of the United States, whether that's a Democrat or Republican, to use the power of the U.S. military to go after these drug cartels. You think the fentanyl problem is bad now? What about 3 years from now when the Mexican drug cartels are more powerful than the Mexican state itself?
J.D. Vance, senator from Ohio there. It's a popular idea among GOP voters. Calls for this kind of action have actually intensified recently as border cities are dealing with the impact of the end of Title 42. That's the COVID-era policy which allowed the U.S. to turn away migrants at the southern border. Now, one of the cities hit hardest by the influx of migrants has been Laredo, Texas. And joining us now to discuss the situation there is the mayor from that town, Dr. Victor Trevino. Mr. Mayor, Doctor, thank you for joining us once again here on The Hill. We've gone to you a few times now. What do you think of that proposal when you hear J.D. Vance and others float that idea?
Well, one of the things, thank you for having me, first of all, but one of the things that are most important is you have to live and work here to know the actual reality rather than the perception is very important. What you hear in other places might not be the correct reality. Reality is what we live here. But Laredo is one of the safest cities in the United States. And we have this because of the great presence of law enforcement, PD, ICE, CBP, sheriffs, Homeland Security. We have about 11 agencies here. And it's one of the safest cities regarding that. So regarding the drug cartels, yes, they're existing across the border. But as a matter of fact, binational relationships do help with that. Information and sharing of ideas and cooperation is very helpful. But we have to deal with the logistics. Now that we're the largest overall port in the United States, from the largest land port, we have to look at the commerce coming in. And with that comes in also security. And we have had.
But what about this? What about this idea? I hear you that you say things are safe there. I think you're putting on your mayor hat there, telling folks to come on down to the great city of Laredo and join us in Texas. I get it, sir. But on these two different ideas of troops going into Mexico, what do you think of that? And then what do you think of the idea of potentially putting troops, U.S. troops, in your city?
Well, I was about to get to that. It's been
all right, go for it.
It was proposed before, and these are sovereign states. But the main thing is to deal with what we can do. As a matter of fact, we had a conference this morning with our Washington representative, Henry Cuellar, and it would discuss that there's things in process regarding military training, both to Mexican soldiers and American soldiers on either side of the border to deal with this. More technology and more equipment like space monitoring, satellites, and just deal with the problem. One of the things that I've seen that doesn't get addressed is the law of supply and demand. We blame the next country for bringing in the drugs, and the byproducts, the actual raw material comes in from China into Mexico. So all of these things have to be looked at. We have also to train and to educate our public. The consumption is the other half of the problem. So these are things that you have to look at, and by living and working here, you know that.
Got it. All right. Mr. Mayor, once again, thank you for your time. Enjoy speaking with you as always. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.